everybody. Welcome to Revival Town Podcast. I'm Chuck Tate. That's Andy King.
Hey, how you doing, mate?
You know, I'm doing great because this is our 200th episode of Revival Town Podcast, right at 100,000 downloads.
Oh, man.
This has been quite the journey.
All right.
Man.
Like a marathon.
Yeah, and it's a special edition because we are doing a podcast 4 nights this week, 4 consecutive nights to coincide with Mission Peoria.
Yeah, and it's been great already. Last night we had Rachel Richardson, who spoke last night.
And who is your sister?
Who is my sister. And then I also had my cousins on. Yes. Vicky, who lives in England, and Sarah, who lives over here, but they're sisters.
Yes.
And so that was fun, talking about camps and different things like that. And this week we've decided to do something a little different where we're bringing the speakers in. I don't know if people remembered last year during Mission Peoria week, but you were it.
Yeah,
you were the speaker for the whole week.
I remember that, and I'm so grateful I'm not the only speaker this week. However, I'm the only speaker not born in England.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But so we need to introduce our guest.
We do. Are you ready?
I'm ready. So this is Nate Rollason, he was the speaker tonight.
Yeah.
And he is here in the studio all the way from the UK.
Yeah, and what's great about this is not only did you do a great job tonight, but you are Vicky's husband who was on the podcast last night.
Yes.
Oh, I am indeed. Hello, everybody.
And it's your birthday.
Oh, wait, here we go. Look what we got. Okay.
All right.
We got red or blue. Blue. Okay, we've got the headphones to contend with, but hey, we can get these on somehow.
Right on.
Did you get it on? Oh.
I think we need to do a little happy birthday.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
The first time we've ever sung on Revival Town Podcast.
Happy birthday, dear Nathan. Happy birthday to you.
41 has come.
Oh, gee, I saw how you did that. See, look, you even got him a book. The problem was it was the same book you gave him last year.
Well, last year you were 40 and 41 did come. Right? So next year when you're here, I will give you my new book. Well, there were some fireworks going off tonight. I mean, worship was off the hook. You threw it down, so
it was.
We have a lot to talk about.
Whoa! And I've got a horn just come out of my head.
We're gonna start calling you Unicorn Andy.
Okay, so what a night! I mean, if you're in the Peoria area and you're listening, it's open to the public. You need to come to
2 nights left.
2 nights left. Tomorrow night, you're going to bring it, mate.
Oh, man.
You're going to bring it.
I'm excited.
Are you going to be talking about your new book?
I'm gonna mention it.
Yeah.
I'm guess when there's obviously the theme is make a mark.
Yeah.
And tonight you read a letter that you received a long time ago, which we'll get to later on.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm going to talk about, one of my points is God using what's in your hand. To make a mark, you have to be willing to use what you have. And I use some words that have now turned into a book, but I know there will be people in the service tomorrow night.
I can't take you serious because of the hats.
I got the hats. Okay, all right, let's take them off.
What's going on?
Yeah, I look like a dunce hat. So my book. It's called Yellow. And you guys trying to Coldplay?
I'm gonna cry. I've already cried tonight. I can't cry again.
Oh, that was classic.
Woo. So, one of the things that I'm going to talk about is making a mark. And everybody has the potential to make a mark, whether it's writing a book, whether it's standing on the stage, like you mentioned tonight, whether it's running a dream center
Right.
or leading at Mission Peoria, the key is being willing to offer God what you have.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night.
Brilliant. Well, we don't have to come tomorrow night, do we?
Two for one.
Yes. So teenagers,
can I,
you can stay in the gym.
I'm going to have to do a recap because I missed a page of my notes.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that because you were talking about it earlier, and I know there's a lot of students that are listening to the podcast as well. And so, Nathan, it is your birthday. We got you a pretty cool gift.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool.
Have you ever seen them?
I've seen different monopolies for different things. Yeah.
So it's a Peoria Monopoly.
Yeah.
So all the locations on the board are locations within Peoria.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So,
So I have a beacon one.
Oh, do you?
I got like years.
Is it just
and
one
years
square
and
in it?
just one square. It's only one person can play. And it didn't come with any money.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So, no, but why don't we talk about your message tonight, Nate?
Okay.
Before we do that,
Okay.
let's get to know you.
Yeah.
41.
Hello.
Right.
41. Tell
So
us
who is
about
Nate?
Yeah, your life.
Okay, well, last year we came out for half of Mission Peoria.
Yeah.
And the reason why we didn't come for the whole of Mission Peoria because it's my 40th. So we stayed in England for my 40th, and then we left a couple of days after, and then we flew out for last year. So where do you want me to start?
Well, tell us a bit about. Obviously, you ministered tonight. You preached tonight. Tell us a bit about ministry side. Obviously, family.
I'll be honest. I'm a little rusty on being on the stage in front of a group of people.
But we couldn't tell that, right?
I couldn't tell tonight. No.
Honestly.
You know, not until you started crying and said, "Everybody go home." I'm kidding. No. Yeah. I don't even want the band to come out. Everybody leave. No. You couldn't tell at all. It was really good.
So yeah, I've done ministry. I was a youth leader for 15 years in England in a church in Coventry, and I was telling actually Josh, the youth pastor at Riverside, how we knew when we got too big because we played this game called the bin game, which is a trash can, not a bin. You put it in the middle of the room, and the idea is
his mate a bin.
a bin.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The idea is not to touch that. So you all link arms around the room, and if you break arms, so you like this, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Switch
Yeah.
that camera.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go.
Right. And imagine
Yes,
there's a
and
bin.
Lord, we just ask you right now.
So then, if me and Chuck broke, we'd both be out and you'd win. Okay.
Are you trying to hit someone, the can in the
if
middle?
you touch the can, you would
Okay.
be out as well. So the
Okay.
idea is to get each other out. So we knew the youth got big when it got to like 50, about 50 in the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All doing that game. You had, kids getting flung into walls
Right.
and, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Then you start playing kick the can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So yeah,
cool.
our height, we got like up to 50 back in the day.
Which, if people don't know this,
In England, that's
in England, that's a big deal
Decent
because,
size.
over here, I think we get used to seeing big churches, mega churches. In the UK, they're there, and I feel there is a movement happening within
Yeah, yeah.
churches, big movement, especially the church that you're at right now.
Yeah, we've recently joined Elim Pentecostal Church in Coventry, and my daughter Phoebe.
Well,
Phoebe, a new nickname for her. She has joined that, and she's just been getting involved with it. It's been amazing to see my 13-year-old daughter wanting to be part of it.
Yeah.
And they've had opportunities to actually share their own message to other people in the youth group, and she's done that twice already.
Yeah.
And we've been going there since January.
and as a
Wow.
parent,
Wow.
there is nothing like that.
It's amazing.
I know your son is here this week,
Yeah.
Chuck, at Mission Peoria as a student. Obviously, seen him worship tonight up front.
It was, it really meant a lot to me. In fact, what I talked to him tonight before the service, and after observing him last evening,
Yeah.
I said, listen, Ashton, tonight, I really want you to worship instead of watching the drummer. Because he plays drums.
Yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah,
back
yeah,
last night.
yeah.
He was just all in. Just,
Yeah.
focused on the drums the whole time. So
Yeah.
tonight he let go and
Yeah.
he was
Amazing.
worshiping.
Yeah, and I'm the same when my kids were growing up, and Joy is serving this week. In fact, she's on your team as a leader.
She is indeed.
Doing a great job. But, you know, it's when you see your kids getting into things of God, whether it's playing an instrument, whether it's just worshiping, whether it's just they're there and in tune and not sitting in the back.
Yeah.
There's something different as a parent that you're like, oh, this is...
There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
nothing like it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got two...
So yeah, I'm a parent. I'm a dad. My wife Victoria, you met her last night. You
Yeah.
know her already. You know her now.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we got Phoebe, 13, and Judah, who's 8, but he's soon to be 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
So I have a
wanting-
question about Phoebe. You showed a picture tonight of Friends.
Yeah.
Is Phoebe named after the character Phoebe in Friends or no?
No,
Okay,
but
all right.
it wasn't that we didn't want to not have the link there.
Yeah.
And we do sometimes say that my Phoebe runs a bit like Phoebe from Friends. Sorry, Phoebe. But
So,
no,
she knows the lyrics to Smelly Cat.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think she spent like last summer watching all the Friends back to back.
Okay,
So,
all right.
no, named after Phoebe in the Bible.
All right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. One of the
Ooh,
first
look at-
deacons in the Bible.
Okay.
Female deacons.
Yes. Yes.
So she's named after.
Oh, you
someone
just
in the
opened a
Bible.
can of worms there. Oh,
Oh.
women in leadership. Okay, sorry. Sorry.
And then Judah's named after Judah in the Bible. The tribe of Judah.
Yes.
That's great.
Lion of the tribe of
Okay, so
Judah.
this is going to be a long podcast. So, obviously, family, ministry.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the message tonight. And again, students are listening. So, tell us a bit about. Obviously, we gave you a title to speak from, but
Yeah.
tell us a bit about the story behind some of the stories. And even you said there was a page that you missed
I
tonight.
just
Why
missed
don't you
that.
go into
Yeah.
that? Why don't you go into
Okay.
that?
So I did have a reference.
Wait, are you doing the whole message now?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can you have phones out of your area, please? Let's not get
Hold on
distracted.
a minute. Okay.
I'm scrolling. It's a 6-page.
Everybody, just those of you listening, just bow your heads and close your eyes.
So I referenced to a movie and then like 3 TV shows. And the fact was the Make a Mark was about make a mark on your friends and family.
Yeah.
Now, when I was preparing, I just leant towards the whole friend aspect and less about the family.
Yeah.
Just the way the Lord led me.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Question him. But so the first one I referenced was The Goonies because it's my all-time favourite film.
And you know, Chuck, I love the Goonies.
Yes.
And I didn't know you
went
loved
out.
The Goonies
Oh.
until I saw you visit. Was it last year?
Last year, went to the house.
You went to the house.
Went to the house.
And the
went,
beach.
Went to the beach. I mean, we went to the location where I could go on all day on about
okay.
it, so I better be
So
quiet.
I saw the photos.
Oh, it's amazing.
In fact, now check this out. I saw Goonies for the first time ever only a couple years ago.
wow.
What?
Yeah, I know. But then I got saved at Mission Peoria.
While he was preaching.
So for those that you don't realise or don't know, the Goonies is a group of boys that are friends and they've just grown up in the neighbourhood together, and then the bad guy in the film wants to develop their whole neighbourhood and put a golf course on it. That's the premise of the film. So in their summer holidays, they decide to go on a treasure hunt and they work together to try and beat and overcome the bad.
Yeah.
And that was my reference I missed out. I didn't make any link to it in my preach, so that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they,
And
and
they
they
saved
did,
their town.
They
Yeah,
did
they
an
saved-
amazing
Hey,
job.
they
what's
saved
Mission
the town.
Peoria about? Saving our town.
There you
The
go.
Goondocks were saved.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then my next one was Outer Banks.
Oh, come on. Me and Chuck love Outer Banks,
It's a
don't we, Chuck?
great series. Season.
Wait, I missed it. What?
Outer Banks.
Oh, yes.
That was my next reference.
Yes.
Oh,
So
new
that
season
one-
coming soon.
New season coming soon. Do we get sponsorship from that?
I don't know. We should. We talk
yeah.
about it every episode.
Yeah.
Netflix.
John B. and JJ.
Yep.
Oh.
So they're a group
Country
of friends
boy.
looking after each other, and they're trying actually to find gold in this one, aren't they? In
Yeah.
the first season.
Yeah.
And they all work together. There's even a reference in there where one JJ sacrificed himself. He gets put in jail instead of Pope.
Yeah.
And I even had a reference about, the sacrificial love of your laying down your life for your friends.
Oh,
I missed that bit out, so that was a good.
That's right. That's right. Everyone take notes.
Then in Stranger Things,
Oh, Stranger Things.
the group of kids are trying to overcome the bad in the underworld, and they're working together, and it's always about good versus bad, and they do a great thing. And in Friends, it's just a reference to Friends because it's a great season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was the bits that I missed out, and my wife did correct me. She's like, "I didn't see the link." I was like, "Yeah, it's because I missed it out. That's why."
That's all right.
So originally, when he first started, and there were 4 in the first 2 examples you gave, right? Or no? I don't know. I thought you were going to introduce Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's where I thought you were going.
Oh,
Then I realized I was way off.
Yeah. Well,
And then I realized you were way off.
I had them on the stage left.
I'm kidding.
They should have walked out on the stage, and they didn't turn up.
No, I loved it because right away you grabbed the attention of everybody by putting the pictures up there. Everybody connected with at least resonated with a couple of them, so it was good.
Yeah, that's what I try and do.
Yeah.
it was good. Now, let's talk a bit, though, about how you ended your message, because I think people weren't ready for it. And
I wasn't ready for it.
You weren't ready for it because you...
Took me by surprise, I did.
Yeah, you went into a bit of rec mode, which is fine, because I think sometimes people need to see that side of a speaker.
Right.
But why don't you tell us about what that moment was, and even read the letter?
Okay, so when I was a teenager, so bearing in mind, going back to something you asked me earlier, I've been in the church scene all my life. I've probably been to like maybe 5 different churches maybe. But always been around the church scene, always been involved. Even if we've been on holiday, sometimes we'd go and visit the local church in that village or town or something like that. And when we come to America, we come to Riverside.
Yeah.
And we enjoy being in the presence of other Christians worshiping God. And it's been great. But as a teenager, I actually went to something called Spring Harvest, which, what's the closest thing to Spring Harvest in the USA?
It would be...
Like a
They don't
Christian
have anything
conference.
like it, but it'd be like Passion.
Yeah,
It'd
a
be like
smaller
Passion.
passion.
Yeah.
Much smaller passion.
Yeah.
So as a teenager, I went to something called Spring Harvest, and they would have had a breakout area for youth, and I would have gone to that. And during that, I met a guy called Paul Murgard, and he was an Australian youth leader. He was there, I think, volunteering, working. But during that time at Spring Harvest, it's over like an Easter weekend normally, so it's like a long weekend, so it's like 4 days probably. And in my youth Bible, I found this note, which I'd completely forgotten about. And then when I was preparing for this message, I woke up early one morning, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's probably less than that. It was on the 16th of July, because that's when I took the photograph. I took a photograph of this Bible, which was my youth Bible. So it's like, like when the cover tears a bit and you've got pages ripped and things. It was one of those style Bibles. It was a well-used youth Bible. And on the back page, this note was written, and it's the 15th of April, 2001, Spring Harvest. And it says this: Nath, man, God has his hand on your life. If you allow him, in a few years' time, you will be blown away by where he has taken you. Look into him, don't walk away. In the hard times, get closer to God, and in the good times, party with Jesus. You are a leader, Nath, and you will lead many people if you allow God to work through you. Stay humble, don't let pride get in the way. Pray, pray, pray. Bless you, mate, because he's Australian. He says, bless you, mate. And that was the note, and I'd completely forgotten about it. So make a mark on your friends and people around you. We was part of a group that I attended, Spring Harvest. He wrote that in my Bible, and I forgot about it, completely forgot about it. But it basically pointed out things that I've had to do in my life, which involved all those things that he talked about.
Yeah.
And I never planned at that point in my life to be a youth leader, which I did for 15-ish years.
Yeah.
And then I kind of continued helping out now and then as and when needed. But yeah, I've just had a passion, I guess, that I've never let go of. So having the opportunity to speak to the students and be at Mission Peoria, I just loved it. Like literally, if I could plan how to spend a week, this is the sort of thing I'd love to do. It's amazing. I love it.
Amen. Wow.
I think a week's about
So
long enough, though. You don't just got to go longer.
So that letter made a mark, literally,
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And it came full circle tonight.
Absolutely. And I think that's what made it emotional for you was, 2001,
Yeah.
right? You would never have thought, one, you would be in America, period.
Nope.
Right? There's some of the prophetic words that have happened
This
over
was
my life.
pre-meeting my wife, Victoria.
Yeah. Some of the...
Yeah, I would have known her,
yeah.
but we weren't together.
Some of the prophetic words over my life, when I was 14, 15, where what they were saying about me being in America, and I'm a kid, like, that will never happen. Like, and you know what it's like when you're in the UK. America's like this land miles away.
You
As
just
a
see it
kid,
on the movies.
you see all the movies. You think all the movies is exactly how it is in America, right? And it's amazing how letters like that and things that people say to you can years later come to pass because God's got you ready, right? He's put a mark on you.
He's got a plan for us, right?
Yeah, and so that's good. Chuck, what? Tell us a bit about obviously something like that. Did anything like that happen to you when you were younger or in your ministry time, where people like
Yes.
that mark happened? You know what I mean?
Yep. So, so I got kicked out of a youth group. No, all jokes aside, that's a whole nother story. But let me just show you how God can take something that the enemy intends to harm you with. And it was nothing illegal or immoral. It was a disagreement, and it was really, honestly, silly.
So you did get
but I
kicked
really
out.
did get kicked out of a youth group, and it was not too long after I moved here from Arizona, and my dad was on staff at the church that kicked me out of the youth group. And I was honestly devastated. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was just blown away, and I ended up, my friend and I, we both together got kicked out, so we walked to an Assembly of God church in my neighborhood because this church was in Peoria. I was living in Pekin, and we went to this AG church in Pekin, and the youth pastor right away just, took us under his wing, began to mentor us, and he was influential in my life on the Bible college that I went to, and it's where I met my wife, Annette. So had I not been kicked out of a youth group, I wouldn't be sitting here tonight.
Right,
Wow,
right.
yeah.
God shaped my life by something the enemy really wanted to take me out. But when it comes to God having somebody speak into your life and give you a word. So after I went to Bible school, I ended up becoming the youth pastor for my youth pastor at that church that I ended up at. Okay?
Yeah.
So he ended up becoming a senior pastor in Ohio, and I ended up being his youth pastor. And I had been there about a year and a half, and we built up the youth ministry, and it's really hard to describe, but I felt like, I knew in my heart my time was done, and I had an opportunity to go work for a national youth ministry in Oklahoma. And I really felt like that was the Holy Spirit leading, but I prayed and I asked him to confirm it. I needed to know that, because I felt kind of bad, like I was leaving him. He was my youth pastor, now I was his youth pastor. But in my heart, I just knew the Holy Spirit was moving me. Yeah. I knew this was a God thing. I was supposed to be in Tulsa, working for this national youth ministry, and but I was afraid.
Yeah.
Afraid to tell him, my pastor, and so I took my kids to an event like tonight. And the speaker was a black man from California. I do not know what his name. If it was multiple choice, I couldn't pick it out. I just remember him stopping the service and saying "you," and he pointed to me.
Wow.
And I'm like looking around, and he's like, "No, you." He said, "God's getting ready to move you."
Wow.
And I'm like, hey, I haven't told my youth group yet. Can we keep it down? But no, he said God's getting ready to move you, and he's gonna move you to a different area. And he has already set things in motion, and he has some really big plans for you. And he shared some more things, but it resonated. It's what I needed to know this was God's thing. And I ended up, being able to travel the country in Canada, working for this youth evangelist, and saw all kinds of things move. And I got to do television and radio, and it was there that God gave me the vision to plant our church. So it was all because of that. He was willing to stop and be obedient.
Yeah.
Wow,
Just like this person was willing to write in your Bible.
Yeah.
I think we need to be willing to also make a mark on somebody else's life. He'll use others to make a mark on our life. And if we are obedient, then we'll end up on the stage or doing whatever.
Well, just serving others, right?
Yep.
Seeing the youth
Yeah.
this week
Yeah.
already. I mean,
And you
some
don't
of
have
it-
to be on a stage to be used.
No, that's
you
it.
don't have to write a book to be used. You don't have to run a dream center to be
Right.
to be used. But
Yeah.
God will use you, and He's already marked you.
Yeah.
He's already set you apart, and He will send others across your path to speak in your life. But we need, on the flip side, we need to be willing to do the same.
Yeah.
And you did that tonight, because all those teenagers, they were sitting there like, hey, that could be me. I
Yeah.
could be used.
Yeah.
God has something for me.
Yep.
What has it been like this week, Nate, as you have seen people ministering?
Yeah.
What has it been like for you? Obviously, you've seen your daughter serving,
Yep.
but also others. What does that do to you?
It just reminds me that anybody can do it. It takes us to put ourselves maybe into a uncomfortable position and get out of our comfort zone and where it's nice and easy and simple and just get our hands dirty sometimes, because sometimes life gets messy.
Yeah.
In general life, but in actually serving others, it gets messy sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a real. I just felt blessed seeing the youth serve, because we were a Southside Mission community centre as our service projects, but the area's not actually got that many children in the hood where we are. But a little bit down is where the actual
Southside
Mission is,
yeah.
and that has got lots of children. So today two of our teams merged together, and we just worked really well together.
Yeah.
And unexpectedly on the fly, we had to kind of work and be thinking on our feet, and we ended up splitting into 3 groups. We had like a younger age group, and then a middle age group, and then some high schoolers, and we just did the 3 different sessions. We did worship together, and it was just a great time. Kids singing praise songs, playing games, seeing all these youth just engaging with these kids that probably haven't got that often with people outside from their area.
Yeah.
And certainly me speaking in the way that I speak to them,
Yeah.
I'm quite unusual.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But yeah, it was
And,
really good.
and you made sacrifices to come, and you invested in Dream Center, Mission Peoria, to pack up your family
Yep.
and to get on a plane and to fly here. And thank you for serving this week.
We actually take our children out of school early.
Yeah.
Which is
Listen to
frowned
this.
upon.
Wait a minute. What?
They're still in school, mate.
No, they were.
They were. Yeah.
So the Thursday that we flew,
So that was a last Thursday.
yeah. So
So you guys haven't broke for summer vacation.
they did on the Friday was the last day. So last Friday,
So, mate,
So how long does it last if it just started?
6 weeks.
That's it.
So they won't go back until the first week of September.
Okay. All right.
So, but we
Can you imagine that over here?
Wow.
we took them out of school.
We have
early.
like 4 months out of the way. It feels like.
Right. Yeah. I mean, our kids were up. My daughter's in cosmetology school, but my son, he was also homeschooled this semester, but most of the schools
Any more excuses why your kids don't
ended
go to school?
at the end of May.
End of May.
I mean, I got out.
End of May, and they go back.
Yellow.
They go back next week. Some
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Now some schools are the week after that. So here we go. So well, Nate, we want to thank you for coming on to Revival Town tonight.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to share or do, or because we have got to tell people, avid listener listens to Revival Town.
Yeah, I'm a few behind. I've got to be honest.
Oh.
I'm not current.
Okay.
I've got a little back on my queue.
Hey, you listened to more than my wife has. I know that.
Same. Oh man! Now I was telling him, should we let this out the bag?
Oh.
I think we should.
I don't know what's in the bag.
Okay.
He doesn't know what bag you're referring to and what's in the bag.
So he listens a lot to John Christ and his podcast.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I said, have you ever heard of Brother Terry?
Oh.
I have not.
And if you're listening to this podcast, you need to check out Brother Terry. And here's an exclusive. We have him coming on the podcast in a few
Wow.
months.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot wait.
So this gentleman is
I
actually...
forgot.
Yeah, this gentleman is actually called Jack Mooring. And everyone within Christian world may know of Leland, who was famous for bringing to America the song Waymaker. They probably want to kick him out now because they've sung it so
Right.
much.
Because most people associate the song with him.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. And his brother Jack, and I blew your mind with this. His brother Jack is married to Michael W. Smith's daughter.
And everyone's
Yeah,
into Michael W. Smith.
because Jack
Everyone's
Mooring
saying
has a book coming out,
And Jack Mooring has a book coming
and
out.
Michael W. Smith and his wife wrote the foreword, and I'm like, hey, that's really cool. Michael W. Smith wrote the foreword. And he's like, that's because he's his son-in-law. Like,
So, but Jack has got this theology book coming out. It's really good. And he has that going on. But then he does this, what would you call that? Like a third personality type. What would you call that?
I would say he has like a spoof account. He has a character
Yeah.
called Brother Terry, and Brother Terry is fictional. I mean, it's him pretending, and he basically over exaggerates a number of things within the charismatic movement. And let me just say, Jack Mooring is charismatic.
Yeah, they're all charismatic.
He's spirit-filled.
Yeah.
You know, but growing up in the assemblies, we relate to it because that was church when I grew up. All the stuff that he does.
Yeah.
He, oh my
Prophetic
goodness.
dancing.
Oh,
he makes
yes.
fun of. And,
Yes,
I mean,
and he seems kind of, the character is kind of crazy. And what's really funny, there are people that follow him that don't know that he's really Jack Mooring.
Right,
They
right.
think this dude is a trip. You guys got to follow this guy. He's crazy. But like, it's all a joke.
and it's like what I was telling Nate was you will get people like Kerry Jobe, Chris Tomlin, like Louis G, all these top people.
They follow him.
Following him,
Yeah.
loving him, commenting on him, and it's just growing crazy. And he now just did a skit with the guy who you were talking about him. What was his name? The guy who does all the
I don't know his name, but it comes
from
from my
from Father's
father's house.
Father's house. He
He does the mega church.
He does the mega church.
videos.
Yeah. Daddy's house, Big Daddy's house. or
Big Daddy's house.
Yeah. Taylor is his
Taylor,
name.
yeah.
Taylor.
So they've done stuff together. John
Right.
Christ has done stuff with
Yeah.
Jack Mooring. So we've got him coming on in a month or so. That's going to be so funny. Now I don't know if he'll go into Brother Terry or not. We're
Well,
gonna
who have you booked?
We've booked Jack
he
Mooring.
is.
Oh, well, there you go.
We're not ending the podcast until he does Brother Terry.
You're going to make him leave the room and come back in again?
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
how crazy it is, mate. He went and bought the Brother Terry mug
Yes.
Oh.
like before we'd booked him.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Yes.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for listening. I know that you've enjoyed having Nathan on tonight.
Full name?
I did it all night, didn't I? I did. Yep. And Nathan is going to be around all week at Mission Peoria.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, or tonight when this comes out, because it'll be tomorrow morning by the time it posts, we've got Mr. Tate in the house.
Whoa.
So Tate and his mate will be on the stage.
Hey.
Hey. So we're gonna do that.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Nathan, for being on
Thank you,
tonight.
Nathan.
It's been a blast.
Thank you both.
Have a great rest of your birthday, and obviously the 200th episode you were
Yes.
on.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
Isn't the saying that if you get past 10 podcasts, you've kind of made it?
Yeah.
So 200 is a big deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
I mean,
there's
we
a lot of
felt
people that
everyone.
start podcasts and they don't do them consistently. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's been almost 4 years. Here we're still going.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
So great. Well, thank you, Nathan. And again, if you're listening right now and you're like, man, I like this podcast, it's pretty good. Make sure you're following us on social media at Revival Town Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing. to the channels, wherever you get your podcasts. And we will see you again tomorrow night. So guys, let's look at the camera and let's say bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Revival Town Podcast. Make sure you're following us on social media and remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For more information, head on over to revivaltownpodcast.com.